Let's show off our word skills by completing the M.A.S.H resume project. Pause the video and fill out the M.A.S.H worksheet that comes with this project. Now that you've filled out your M.A.S.H worksheet, you'll have all the data you need to create the resume. We're going to take a different approach this time and actually use tables to create our resume. You start by Insert Table, and we're going to create a table to begin with that's one column and about 25 rows. First thing we're going to do is we're going to type our name. For me, that's Bob Dabalina. Next, we're going to place our cursor in the second row, and we're going to split this row and change it from one column to 3. This is going to allow us to place our address in the leftmost column, and our email address and phone number in the rightmost column. This is the kind of thing that normally can be done with columns or tabs, but I'm just showing you a different way to do it, this time using tables. Next, we're going to skip 2 rows and type our first section header, Objective. We're going to skip 1 more row and type our objective. Your objective should start with the word to. Next is the education section. Skip a line and then split it from 1 column to 2. The rightmost column you will resize using the ruler, aligning it to the 5-inch mark on the ruler. In the left column, you will type your education information. For me, this is El Segundo High School. In the right column, you will type the dates you attended. In my case, 2011 to the present. Continue on by completing the education record. You should list that you have a high school diploma and when you are expecting to receive this diploma. Additionally, you will want to include the cumulative GPA and any extracurricular activities from your M.A.S.H worksheet. We start our work experience section the same way, by splitting our row and lining up the column. Next, we list our employer. In my case, this is King Soopers. Then we fill out our date. Next, we'll list our position. For me, this is cashier. And we'll use bullets to describe our job duties. In my case, working at King Soopers as a cashier, I complete guest transactions, sign people up for King Soopers cards, and things like that. This section should have 3 or 4 bullets which describe the job duties of the position. Following the same type of model, complete the community service section. This entry is going to be very similar to the work experience. Once again, we start by splitting our row, lining up the right column, I volunteer at the rescue mission in El Segundo, so that's the first thing I type. Next, I complete the dates that I've been volunteering there. Technically, I'm a volunteer, so I list that next. When you run out of rows in a table, you can press Tab and it'll automatically create you a new row. Similar to with our work experience, we will use bullets to describe our duties as a volunteer at the rescue mission in El Segundo. Once again, you should have 3 or 4 bullets which describe what your volunteer work was. Finally, we create our skills section, which will simply be a bulleted list. At this point, the content of our resume is all taken care of. Next, we'll move on to the formatting. Formatting a resume is critical because it'll give it that professional look. The first thing we're going to do is select our table, and we're going to center it on the page. The next thing we're going to do is select the table and change the font to Calibri Light. We're also going to change the font size to 12 points. Next, we're going to align top center our name row. We're going to increase its font size to 20. We will also align top center both address columns. Next, we'll format our section headers. We're going to bold, make sure they're uppercase, and make each 14-point font. I'm going to use the Format Painter so that I'll be able to easily apply this format to all of my section headers. In this resume, we're going to bold the name of any organization. We're also going to italicize things like the expected graduation date. We will top right align all dates. Once again, we will bold organization title, in this case King Soopers. We'll italicize our role, which is cashier. Align top right all dates. Once again, we will bold rescue mission. Align top right our date. And italicize our role, which is volunteer. Now we're ready to get rid of the borders around our table so that our resume looks like a professional document. Let's save before we lose any of our work. You've probably noticed that even though we got rid of our borders, you can still see the tables and columns. These are called grid lines. It's a special view in tables that allows you to see rows and columns, but they won't show up when you print. Whenever you need to work on your document, click on View Grid Lines and you'll be able to see your table. At this point, your document should look like mine. Congratulations!